Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the everyone's favorite Courtside Pitchside podcast today. I am Sam Pausman, joined today by Ben Pausman.
Great to be here.
And we are going to be doing a World Cup megacast, as we are calling it. So we're going to be going through discussing the World Cup, which kicks off this Sunday, I believe, Ecuador and Qatar. So that should be terrible to watch, but it will be the World Cup. I think the good games don't start until the following Monday, or maybe it's Saturday and Sunday. I'm not really sure. But
I think it's Monday, Tuesday.
Monday, Tuesday? That's embarrassing. But either way, I'm very excited. Ben? Excited?
Super excited. I've been waiting for this moment for
4 years.
4 years.
Oh, yeah.
It's a World Cup.
It's a World
What's
Cup.
not to love?
It's the greatest spectacle in sport. We're happy to be doing this for it. Hopefully we don't tear your ears off, but this should be a blast. We're going to go through each group, trying to give our predictions, and then we're going to look more at the knockout round. Then we'll do some more just nuanced stuff, kind of picking, like, these are players we're excited to watch, players we're not so excited to watch, so on and so forth. Ben, shall we get right to it?
Let's get it going.
Okay, Group A, I'll read them off.
Yep.
We've got Senegal, Netherlands, Qatar, and Ecuador. What do you make of that?
I think Senegal and Netherlands are the clear 1-2 favorites of that group. Now, whichever order you have them in.
What do you have?
I have Netherlands 1, I have Senegal 2.
That's fair. That's fair.
Netherlands is obviously the better overall team,
Certainly.
and they have probably one of the best defenses in the entire World Cup.
Yeah.
And best center back pairing that I can recall in recent memory.
Mm-hmm.
I think Senegal's got some fantastic players: Sadio Mane, Koulibaly, Mendy in goal.
It's a good core, right?
It's a good core.
It's what you want in a World Cup team.
Exactly, and they might go number one.
They might.
Who's to say?
They have the sparks to do so.
They do.
So I have like the list of all the World Cup rosters out in front of me here, and I was going through earlier today, and I was just kind of highlighting like all notable players. I have all of the Netherlands defensive players highlighted.
Just read them off.
Virgil van Dijk, Nathan Ake, Daley Blind, Jurrien Timber, Denzel Dumfries, Steven De Vrij. What is it, De Vrij?
I think it's
De Vrij. Matthias De Ligt, Malacia, the new United guy.
Yep.
And then Frimpong, who's kind of the runt of that litter. But
you're not. Yeah, I mean,
like teams would kill for him to be your worst defender.
Exactly.
And I mean that it's honestly terrifying. And I wouldn't be I wouldn't be surprised if we saw like Malacia move up into a more attacking position, so they can play a back four and still have him there.
What formation do they play?
I assume it's Van Gaal, right?
I feel like it's Dutch, right? It might be a proper 4-4-2.
That's valid.
I mean, I don't know.
I mean, if they come out with 5 in the back with a Van Dijk defense, I think they should just be sent back to.
And who's the right back out of that group?
It should be Timber or Dumfries.
Okay.
Dumfries starts for Inter. Timber starts for Ajax.
Yeah.
So Timber can also play in the center, so I wouldn't be surprised.
And then De Ligt, Van Dijk, and Malacia on the left.
Who's scoring on that?
That is a ridiculous back line.
It legitimately is. Now the only worry is I feel like a lot of these Netherlands players are kind of in slumps in their careers right now.
Sure.
Right? Like Frankie de Jong in the midfield, for example, is kind of he doesn't really know what his role is for him in Barcelona. We've all heard the Virgil van Dijk noise. But I mean, that's the only hole you can really poke in this. Outside of they just have no one attacking. Like they have Bergwijn, Depay, and Luuk de Jong, who I've never watched play.
Yeah.
Depay will be fun though.
Depay will be fun to watch. Certainly, for the quality of defense, it is a weak attack.
It is.
It's a very bottom-heavy team.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we're going to find that as a common theme when we kind of delve into each roster here.
That's fair.
There's the top teams. They either have a very strong attack, not a great midfield, some combination of that. So I don't think it's as big of a concern.
I agree.
Because I think there's other teams that have plenty of weaknesses as well.
Yeah. Plus, how many fluke goals are scored in a World Cup? Like, you get one break and you can just sit Van Dijk back. Like, you're fine.
Plus, if Depay is on, he's on.
Oh, he's on. Yeah.
So,
I'm really excited to watch him play.
I agree.
Anything else to add in terms of Senegal?
No. Mane is going to be incredible to watch.
Oh, I can't wait. I haven't been able to watch him much since he's moved to Germany. I just miss watching him play. It's actually going to be a lot of fun to see that.
Yep.
Group B?
Group B.
We've got Iran, USA, Wales, and England.
Right.
Everyone's kind of talking about this group. What's the England roster? What's the England 11 going to look like? Trent made it, which was kind of a surprise for a lot of people. I think the
not in a way that he shouldn't have made it, in the way that people were surprised that Southgate had the intelligible decision to include him,
which he should have done all along.
Correct.
But he was kind of left with no choice once Reece James went down for Chelsea. He kind of had to.
Right. I mean, I think Trippier and
Trips is the guy. Trips should be starting for this team.
You definitely needed someone to push some squad competition there too.
Tripp should be their captain. It shouldn't be Henderson. Yep. It's going to be Henderson. But it's everyone kind of knows he's the old head here.
Yep.
Right. I mean, yes, you've Harry Kane, but Trips has won trophies. Harry Kane hasn't.
Exactly. There you go.
So
now the one huge thing from this group is, how is this USA team going to look?
That's a good question.
Because as an American, and as an American who is optimistic about this team, I think people are kind of saying sky's the limit.
That's audacious.
I that's what I'm like. The expectations are high, is what I'm saying.
Super, and part of that is because we missed the World Cup 4 years ago, right?
Missed the World Cup. This is our first roster that the U.S. has ever put out, where, the best 5 guys, best 5, 6, 7 guys are playing in Europe,
and they're playing for top teams,
European teams, and they're young, and they're hungry, and they're a little inexperienced from an international standpoint, but they're getting exposure on the highest stage.
Yeah, and what I like is there's experience in the back, right? Like it's Tim Ream, it's going to be Matt Turner, right, in goal. Zach Steffen not making it was expected, painful. I think it was more painful than it was surprising, because he was kind of touted as the next thing. And, I mean, I think he had like an FA Cup blunder for City, and then since then he has just fallen off a cliff. It's not very good. It's
quite sad.
Quite sad. It's hard to watch. But the Yedlin Sergino Dest battle for right back is going to be interesting.
It should be.
It should be Dest.
Agreed.
In my opinion.
Agreed.
I don't think either of them can defend. I don't think Dest has played since he moved to Milan. He kind of always got caught out defensively in Champions League matches for Barcelona. But I mean, he's brilliant on the ball. He's brilliant in attacking areas. It's just sometimes it's, what are you doing, man?
And I think that, there's some names in the defense, but it gets really exciting when you talk about the midfield and talk about the forwards. Tyler Adams from Leeds. Wes McKennie from Juventus.
Oh, yeah.
Brendan Aronson from Leeds. He's so fun to watch. You got Gio Reyna, Christian Pulisic, Josh Sargent, Tim Weah.
I love that.
I love it.
I just love it.
They're all so young, and they're all so fun to watch.
And my thing with Pulisic this year is no one's talking about him. Right? So it's all Brendan Aronson this, Brendan Aronson that, as it should be. Brendan Aronson has been the best American player this league year since August, without a doubt. And you're foolish to argue otherwise. But with the pressure off Pulisic's shoulders, I'm really excited what it's going to look like, where you don't have to play him at the 10. You don't have to, he's not the crutch for every attacking opportunity. Now he is someone that can do things probably a little better than he can in central areas, and he can go win his one-on-one battles outside.
And the success, like you said, the success of the team is not entirely dependent on Pulisic. I mean, that's the thing that's kind of hurt the U.S. teams in the past, 3-4 years, is that it's like, if Pulisic doesn't do well, the team's not going to do well. Well, now Pulisic is kind of being cast aside in Europe as a rotation guy.
Yeah.
The eyes of the world have kind of
Leeds is the hot thing.
Leeds is the hot thing. And now it's like, what can Pulisic actually do when he's not having all the success of an entire country riding on his shoulders?
I like that. Should free him up a little bit, right?
Yep.
The one thing that concerns me is there's no true striker besides Jordan Morris, who I will say that if he sees a single minute of World Cup action, we might as well just get the next flight home. I think he's terrible. I think he's horrible. I think he's bad.
Is he the Josie Altidore?
He's our Josie Altidore.
Okay.
The issue with him is that he is the nicest man in the world.
That's tough.
And
Tough to hate
everyone
on.
loves him. So you
Tough
can't
to hate
hate the guy, but maybe he can just kind of run the bench mob and kind of love.
Yeah, no,
Spread his love from there.
as Drake said, he's there for the moral support.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
New album.
Oh, yeah. I think seeing Gio Reyna, its striker could be fun, though.
There's a lot of different combinations that U.S. can make. I do want to talk about England, though.
I was going to ask you about that.
Where do you have them in the group? Are you going full Patriot, U.S. 1, England 2?
Nah, England comes away on top.
Okay.
England, they have so much talent.
They do.
They have so much talent.
They should come out on top.
Like, here's my issue with England. So, if you look at their attackers that they're bringing to the World Cup, we've got Kane, Rashford, Sterling, Bukayo, Phil Foden, Jack Grealish, and James Maddison.
Yeah, if they're not scoring like 4 goals a game.
But Gareth Southgate plays a system where it's only two attackers, 2 creative players, and a striker.
Yeah.
Because he sits back with 2 6s, 3 center backs, and 2 wing backs.
And then like this weird double 10 thing.
Yeah, it's like a weird double 10 that one can float wide but never both.
Right.
So what he should do is he's going to play Harry Kane up top. That's a given.
Yeah.
I would argue you should be playing not Mason Mount. You should be playing Phil Foden in that role.
Yes.
Because you need someone that can be involved in link-up play.
Yes.
When you only have 3 people going forward, and I know it's not actually only 3 people going forward, but it's really only 3 people going forward, I would argue one of those needs to be Foden. And he should be the guy in that pivot role. And then you put one of Sterling, Saka, Grealish, or Maddison. You put 2 of those in the other 2 roles.
Agreed.
If you're going to play an outdated system.
Now, this is a very progressive and smart way of thinking, which is something that Southgate is not exactly
known for.
Keen to.
No, he's going to play the slowest, most unathletic
The
looking
most
players.
proper lads.
We're going to get Harry Maguire and Harry Kane and Declan Rice.
Right.
Christ.
If Peter Crouch was available, he would.
Honestly, we should consider ourselves lucky that he liked Jude Bellingham because I'm shocked that he loves him that much.
Yeah. I think he felt like he had to take Bellingham.
That's fair. Who starts at goal? Pickford, Ramsdale, or Pope? Who would you start, and who will Southgate start?
I'm starting Aaron Ramsdale.
I like that. The modern goal is best with his feet, and he's a good shot stopper.
Yep. He also is, personally, I think he has the best reaction time and reflexes out of any of those 3.
And he's a great leader.
He is. I mean, you can't not be a great leader and have your team be top of the league.
Now, I agree with you, by the way. I think Ramsdale's the best option here. The issue with Ramsdale, and this is kind of how Pep has just helped revolutionize the goalie position, is he's like, I want my goalie to be a 3rd center back. Right? But when you're playing in a system with 3 center backs,
don't need that.
You're not looking for that.
Yeah, I think, if anything, it's not going to be Ramsdale. Like, I don't think that would be a reason to, decide against Ramsdale.
Yeah.
If anything, it'd just be hey, Pickford's our guy.
And he also, Southgate has a crush on Pickford.
He does.
Even though he's 5'11".
I mean, and England's had good international success in the past 2 major tournaments.
Yeah.
I mean, semifinals in 2018 of the World Cup. They went to the finals of the Euros in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of might be what Southgate's thinking from a goalkeeping perspective.
Which is fair. It just feels like this team can be unlocked in such a better way if he's willing to.
Right, and I think if that's the way that he's going to shift, then I think Tomori gets included into the squad.
That's fair.
I think,
Because I would love to see if they did a Ben White and Kyle Walker center back pairing with Trips on one side and Luke Shaw on the left. Yeah. Luke Shaw, flowers for Luke Shaw. Yeah. He's actually a good left back. He just got fat in 2018.
There you go. Yeah, he gained some weight.
And then you just have like Jude Bellingham in the pivot role for Declan Rice. You let, I don't know, Foden and Madison.
The thing is, they have the talent to have one of the most exciting, new, fast-paced attacking teams, and they're not utilizing it.
They're not,
which is fine. So I have them one in the group. They're gonna do fine. But I think just the way that Southgate kind of organizes the team, they're going to be a little limited.
Think Aaron Ramsey and Gareth Bale could take a point off one of these teams?
I think so. I think Wales is they sit third for me.
Me too.
But I mean, we might see a huge goal difference battle in this group. I think we could have. I think if the U.S. advances, I think they go in at 2, and I think they barely get in.
Yeah, it's like them and Wales will both have 4 points or something. Or 3 points.
Or you never know. Like,
yeah,
you never know.
Group C.
Yeah.
Argentina, Poland, Mexico, and Saudi Arabia.
I don't really have much to talk about with this group outside of Argentina. Argentina's won in this group, and I think it's indisputable. I think Poland and Mexico, you can kind of go back and forth here. I have Poland at the 2 spot, but
so I have Mexico at the 2 spot. We'll just touch on this briefly, only because I feel like Mexico is one of those teams that just come alive for the World Cup.
Sure, I mean they have Ochoa. So their goal basically isn't allowed to be scored on.
They automatically, yes, exactly.
I think it's a fair take. Now, Argentina.
Let's talk about them.
Let's talk about Argentina.
Do they have a midfielder?
Argentina.
Like, can we name one Argentine midfielder? Because the answer is no.
No, the answer is no.
I could play a game called "Is this player an extra in an Argentine movie, or do they play in the Argentine national team?"
That's actually a great game.
Do you want to play it?
Let's play it. Let me just whip up a list of some. If you want to talk about their forwards,
okay.
I will whip up a list of some Argentinian extras.
Okay,
and you go for it.
And here's the list of their.
Yeah, no, let's do it. All right,
let's do this. But no, going forward, I don't think there's a no. Brazil is the best attack for me personally, and we'll talk about them later. But Messi, Dybala, and Di Maria, plus Lautaro Martinez is terrifying because Messi's going to be in this weird hybrid role. I mean, he's always in a hybrid role of creating and finishing, but now he's really going to be in this hybrid role where he has players around him that can do both. So it's going to be interesting if they play him on the wing, if they almost bring him back to what he did in Barcelona, where they'd play him like kind of in central areas, because I think that could be fun. And then you'd give Di Maria space and you let Messi set up for like Lautaro Martinez, who I rate very highly. He's been really good this year for Inter, but I can't get past the lack of midfield.
No,
and like you can win a game or 2 or 3. I mean, when you have a top 3 player of all time, you're going to be able to pull yourself into wins. And they have a fine defense, right? Lisandro Martinez from United, Christian Romero, right? But when there's nothing in terms of build-up, you're not just going to play long ball when you have Messi and Di Maria and Dybala.
Exactly. Messi thrives when it's a progression of play.
Yeah, he's always had players like that in his career, whether it's Xavi and Iniesta or Verratti now.
Busquets, right.
Busquets. He needs that anchor in the midfield. And as every attacking player should.
Right.
Like we've seen Mo Salah without an anchor in the midfield this year, when Thiago was out, he looked like he was just on an island.
He was a shell of himself.
And we know he's good. Like, that's not a knock on exactly, Salah. Yeah. If you're just a player that plays in wide areas, you need people in the midfield that can find you. And Argentina don't have that.
Speaking of.
Yeah. You want to play the game?
Let's play it.
Okay.
Do you want to, I'll give you 10 names.
Mm-hmm. Argentine movie star or
Argentine movie star? Yeah. I had to expand it to star because...
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm assuming you don't know any of those either.
No, I don't.
All right. And by the way, I don't need the list because I don't want you to see my eyes.
Oh,
I have the squad pulled up on the laptop. In the next tab over, I have the list of movie stars. So let's just get right into it.
Okay. Do you have movies that these guys were in?
No.
Okay.
I didn't really feel like that was necessary.
It's fair. It's good feedback.
Okay. Ready?
Yeah.
Enzo Fernandez.
Enzo Fernandez. I'm going to go Argentine. He's going to be in the World Cup.
He's in the World Cup.
Let's go. Okay, we're one for one.
Alejandro Gomez.
Oh, he's a movie star.
He's in the World Cup.
God damn it. He just sounds so handsome.
Yeah. What about Chino Darin?
Oh, movie star.
He's a movie star.
Okay, let's go.
He's a movie star.
Who's next?
We're going to go with Hector Alterio.
God damn it. This is terrible. Their midfield sucks. Okay? What is he, a movie star?
He's a movie star.
Okay.
The point is,
these guys stink. These guys are terrible. They might teapot the entire world and win it, and we all lose our mind. But I have no faith in this midfield.
and people are saying Argentina's favorite. We're gonna get into that a little later, but the point is you can't be a favorite with this lack of quality.
Let's go back through the past few World Cups.
Yes.
So let's go back through the past Euros.
Yes.
Past major tournaments.
Yeah.
So last one was what, 2020?
Yeah.
And that was Italy winning the Euro.
Verratti.
Barella.
I hate to say it, but Jorginho.
Yeah, right. That's a
Like,
solid
at least he's
midfield
good for
core.
Italy. Like
2018, Brazil won it with probably one of the best midfields of all time.
2018, France won it.
That's what I meant to say. France won it 2018 with probably one of the best midfields of all time. Conte, Pogba, who was their third?
It was Conte, Pogba. I think
Was it like a Griezmann 10?
it was a Griezmann 10. Yeah.
2016 was...
That was Portugal
Yes.
in the midfield.
Which was, I guess, a little different. That was the weird Renato Sanchez year.
Yep.
But also, you've Ronaldo, so like...
Kind of, yeah.
Which, I guess you could say you've Messi.
And then, 2014, Germany won it with Kroos.
Ozil and Schweinsteiger.
Like, that's just phenomenal. World class. 2012.
That was Spain.
Spain won the
Spain
Euros.
3 years went Busquets, Xavi, and Iniesta.
Yeah.
And won 3 international.
Yeah.
Like, you need that to... There's been one example where you don't have a world-class midfield.
And honestly, France should have won that game.
France
I don't think anyone's saying that Portugal's a better team.
Yeah, exactly.
So, you're exactly right. And we'll get into like the favorites and things like that a little bit later. But
Speaking of France, you move Group D?
yeah, moving right along.
France, Denmark, Australia, and Tunisia. I have them finishing in that order.
Okay.
I could, like, if you want to put Australia above or Tunisia above Australia, I don't really think it matters.
It does not matter.
Is there a little... So, the streak has always been the team that wins the World Cup, the next World Cup, they get out in group round.
Yeah, they're not going to get a group round.
In a group this terrible,
No.
and a lot of times... So, I feel that the reason why teams often do that and they fail the next World Cup is because they either try and completely redo the team and they're like, okay, this is the past generation. We're bringing in the youth now.
Sure.
That's what happened with Germany. Remember, like, Julian Brandt was the only player that we were like, this is the only spark on this team.
Yeah.
Or they're like, we're just going to run back to the same team and hope it works 4 years later.
Exactly.
France has a weird balance where
do.
they still have Benzema and Giroud and Griezmann, and like obviously there's no Conte, there's no Pogba, for injury reasons, but they also have a good balance of both the past and the present. Which I mean, I was really excited to watch Nkunku play.
Yep.
It's a shame he's hurt.
Mm-hmm.
It was a Camavinga challenge in training that did him in. It was a good challenge though. It's just unlucky.
It's tough.
But I think this team is built to at least make it out of the first.
And it's not like they have
group round.
bumps in the midfield either. I mean,
No.
Tuchemny and Camavinga are, two youngsters playing on the biggest stage in the entire world.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them just came off a Champions League win.
Yeah.
They're world-class players. And it's not Pogba, it's not Conte, but they're class.
And they have it in the back, too.
Yep.
Teo Hernandez, I will argue, is the best left back in the world. Rafael Varane has been one of the best center backs in the world this year. Same with William Saliba.
Saliba's ridiculous.
It's probably going to be Pavard at right back. I wouldn't be surprised if they moved like Upamecano there because I know he's played there before, which I would rather see. I think Pavard's vastly overrated, but that's just me being cynical. What do you think?
I think that this team is going to be successful no matter. They're one of the deepest teams in the entire world.
Yeah.
I mean, you take out the 2 starting midfielders and you plug in 2 players who play for the best club.
Yeah.
At this moment in time.
They're gonna be
that
fine.
Cannot be said about any other team. They've produced world-class attack after world-class attack in a lot of different personnel combinations. So people are saying personnel is an issue for this team.
It's not.
It's not.
It's unknown names, sure. Not unknown, but like these are new names for the international soccer fan.
Correct.
But holy hell do they have talent.
And they always do.
They always do.
As well.
Kingsley Coman. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to watch
They're
this
a
team
phenomenal
play.
team.
It's a shame we don't see him play anyone good in group round, but
I think they're going to break that curse. They're going to get out of the group round.
I do too.
I think Denmark's going to be second in that group. And then, I mean, that's really all to say about Group D.
Anything on Australia or Tunisia? Because I don't have anything.
I got nothing.
I got nothing.
I really got nothing.
Wait, isn't there? I don't even know if I know one Australian player. We're not even going to get into that.
We could play the
Let's do
movie
Group B.
star game and
Group B's really
idea.
fun.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
We've got Takahiro Tomiyasu in Japan. We've got the Costa Ricans, the Spanish, and the Germans.
Yeah. Now, Japan has some quality this year.
Japan.
Underrated quality.
Okay.
It's not enough to top Spain or Germany, but you're going to see some flashes of brilliance out of this Japan team.
That's fair. That's actually not ridiculous to say.
Now, I have Spain as the 1 seed in this group.
Are you high on Spain this year?
I am high on Spain this year.
Okay. So they did the thing where they said, fuck it, we're all in on the youth. Yep. They left De Gea and they left Ramos at home.
Yep. And Thiago.
Okay, see, that's just stupid, personally. How old is he, 29?
It's stupid. Yeah,
that was stupid.
Completely. Yeah.
But they brought Busquets, which was kind of random.
But, I mean, they brought Busquets because he complements Pedri and Gavi.
That's fair.
They didn't bring Thiago because he doesn't play with him. So they're like, this is our midfield 3.
That's fair.
We're not going to shake up the chemistry.
Mm-hmm. I kind of liked that, actually. It's still stupid to leave someone like Thiago at home. The back line's also weird. It's going to be Carvajal, who's good, and then it's going to be Aspie and Laporte.
Laporte's very
good. Jordi Alba's probably, how old is he now?
36.
It's super experienced, which in the World Cup tends to mount to success in the back line. It's the opposite of France, right? It's the guys on the other side of their peaks, but who have the World Cup experience.
Right. But it's a weird team.
It's a bizarre team.
But it's Spain.
Can I just say I'm happy that after that ACL tear, Marco Asensio has made a World Cup roster?
Yeah. It's phenomenal.
We just needed that.
I love him.
We
saw him live.
We did. We actually saw him tear his ACL.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we did.
God damn it.
And he scored twice.
God damn it. Fat face Jenkinson. It was
Fat-faced
Carl Jenkinson that did it.
Asensio played phenomenally, and then we watched him
cry.
Yeah, it was honestly quite sad.
Great match. It was right after Ramos hurt Mo Salah, so we all got to flip him off. It was fantastic.
Yeah, it was great.
No bad blood there. Anyway, Ansu Fati, what do you make of that? What do you make of him? I feel like it was one of those situations where they gave him the 10 shirt for Barcelona, and then we're like, wait, we did that way too soon.
Yeah. They committed a lot of things to that relationship, and then we're like, oh.
Oh, I didn't realize you clap when the plane lands.
Right. Like they, yeah. Here's a key to my house. Wow, you have a criminal record. You know what I mean?
Yes, exactly.
So it's like.
Exactly.
They didn't really do their market research on him when giving him that shirt. He's a quality player.
No doubt about it.
And I think that he's going to be good in this World Cup.
Yeah,
I don't really have high
fine.
expectations for him. I don't have low expectations for him.
Ferran Torres. That's the thing with their attack.
I mean, there's no one where you're like, go win me this game in the attack.
You're not giving Morata the ball, right?
No, I could give the ball to Pedri and say, go win me this game.
Or Gavi, and they have Rodri behind them. Like, oh my god.
And that's the thing. Their attack, they have guys that can finish well.
And in the Spanish heyday, it was like that.
Yeah.
No one was giving David Villa the ball and being like, hey, well. No
In the latter stages of that run, yeah, agreed. It was Xavi and Iniesta to go win us this game.
And they did.
So I think we could see a similar relationship here. Germany also is a very talented team. It's
Talk about Germany, yeah.
It's a weird one.
Okay.
Kind of similar to Spain, where it's like, huh.
So I love the German
A lot of
teams
new
here.
names.
I love the German teams this year. They have the best goalie in the World Cup.
Yes, they do.
You could argue Courtois. Manuel Neuer is arguably the greatest goalkeeper in World Cup history.
Yep.
He routinely plays his best in this tournament.
Agreed.
This is his fourth.
Yeah, it's his fourth.
I love their midfield.
Yeah.
Kimmich is probably a top 3-6 in the world. And then you put, I think, what's his name? Oh, Jamal Musiala is going to surprise a lot of people.
He's so good.
I think he's a name that is kind of going under the record internationally. He might be Man City just bid $200 million for Musiala.
Now, the thing is, he does play for Bayern.
He does play for, which I love.
Yep.
So there's no big club that's going to come swoop him up because he's German, right? Well, obviously he's playing in Germany. But it's going to be likely either him or it depends where they play Brandt. I wouldn't be. He's played on the wing before. I like him kind of in the midfield, but then you're leaving Gundogan on the bench.
Right.
There's a lot of talent in the midfield.
It's a very talented team. It's also a very young team.
It is, but in the back, yeah, that's fair.
In the back, I was gonna outside of Gundogan, it's experienced in terms of these are guys that almost like France and Spain a little bit, where it's like, okay, World Cup experience.
Not a lot
for some of the newer guys, especially on that France team.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like they're playing for these big teams and they're getting all this exposure. So, they have the tools to certainly carry them to late in the tournament.
Mm-hmm. Their attack is concerning. It's literally just the only forwards they named on their roster were Kai Havertz and Moukoko, who's 17 years old.
Moukoko's gross.
He's disgusting. He just got his first cap today, actually.
Yeah.
They played a friendly. I don't know if I assume they won.
Yeah, I hope so.
But that's kind of not true because likely what we'll see is like a weird Mueller float false nine, whatever his role is now, where they just kind of they're like you just stay in the front third and you kind of go where that's at least what Bayern does with them.
And honestly, I hate to speak ill of the sick, if that's a phrase. I think it's better that Timo Werner is not on this team.
Yeah.
I think he would cost them goals.
Fuck Timo Werner.
Yeah. Fuck that guy.
Fuck Timo. Like, this World Cup is just so much better off without this guy in here.
And he's a poor forward.
He's poor. He doesn't do build-up play at all.
Nope.
He's shit.
Yeah, he is. And
I'm happy. I hate Chelsea. I'm happy I don't have to watch him in the Premier League anymore.
Yeah.
We hate Timo Werner. I'm glad we're on the same page with that.
We're on the very same page.
Kai Havertz, not really all that likable, but at least interesting to watch.
Yeah. I mean, he's got to work on his
all of
his
it.
smiling.
He's hideous.
Yeah, he's a weird-looking guy.
We don't judge people on their physical attractions on this podcast, though.
Except we do, because
he's hard to look at.
we also just name-dropped Fat-Face Jenkinson and then provided his first name. So, I think we're well past that.
I think we're well past judging. Manuel Neuer, though, it's going to be his last World Cup, and it's going to be sad for me. He was like my...
I hope they get out in a noble fashion.
I do, too.
I hope it's not some, bummy way. I want it to be epic.
If I were to make an 11 of, my favorite players of my entire life, Neuer's the starting goalkeeper.
Absolutely.
And it will be till the day I die. I love that man. He revolutionized the position. I will argue he's the best goalkeeper of all time.
He's so good.
It's going to be a shame to see his World Cup career end, but I have Germany playing Brazil, I think, in the round of 16 or the quarterfinals. And
Okay.
I would make the argument that whoever wins that game might win the tournament.
Out of Germany and Brazil.
Mm-hmm. We'll get to that later. But
I was going to comment, and I was like, hold on, we got a segment for that.
Also, Serge Gnabry. Love that man. Arsenal,
you love him.
Arsenal legend. Okay. That was a lot. What else do we have? Group F. We got 3 more groups here, and then we'll take a break and move to the knockout round. Sound good?
Yeah, sounds great.
All right, so we've got Belgium, Canada, Morocco, and Croatia.
Yeah, I mean, this is a group with, I think, 3 teams to fill 2 spots.
That's fair. I like how you said that.
And, like, Group D, look at France. You have 1 team to fill 2 spots. This is a team where you could, I think, Croatia, Belgium, and Canada, you can mix them around in pretty much whichever order.
Mm-hmm.
Belgium is most talented,
Mm-hmm.
top-down roster.
They always find a way to bottle it.
But they find a way to bottle it.
They've got that Tottenham core, Alderweireld and Vertonghen, and I have no
Right, it's
no
in
trust.
their DNA. Croatia is past its peak from a...
Yeah, this is not your dad's Croatia team.
No.
This is like that team was old when they made a World Cup final.
Right.
Now it's like the only players left over are what, like Perisic, Modric, and
Now, Modric hasn't gotten any worse. Let's be real.
He's gotten better.
Yeah.
Now, part of the reason he's gotten better, though, is because he's playing in a Real Madrid system where he can be a little more of a Jorginho and less of a all-over-the-place guy.
Mm-hmm.
But now, when you're no longer playing with, like, 2 young, spry guys around you,
Right.
and you're stuck with, it's going to be, what, like Kovacic?
Yeah, I mean...
Who's fine. It's not Camavinga.
It's not Camavinga.
I
do think they're going to make some noise, and I think
Certainly.
if they tied Belgium and beat Canada, is that ridiculous? Is that a ridiculous thing to happen?
No, it's not.
Like, all of a sudden they're the number 1, they're number 2. I have Canada 3.
I have Canada 2.
You have Croatia 3.
I have Croatia 3.
Yep.
I could go either way. I've gone back and forth on that 10 times. I have no problem. Belgium won. It's boring, but it feels... Sometimes it just feels like talent kind of finds its way to win.
And I have Belgium too, only because I think talent will advance.
You have Croatia winning the group.
I do.
Wow.
I think Modric is that guy.
Modric is that guy.
And
He's a bus driver.
he is, I don't think he's enough to get them very far in the tournament. And in fact, I have them losing in the first round.
That's fair.
But I think he'll do enough.
And the Belgium core is weird. Like, outside of De Bruyne and Courtois, it just feels like everyone peaked. Like, their golden generation was last World Cup.
Absolutely. And it was such a shame to see them go down.
Yeah.
In such a anticlimactic way.
We're going to see how good De Bruyne is. Well, we fucking know how good
Yeah,
De
we
Bruyne
do,
is.
yeah.
But, like, we're going to see how much he can solely carry a team.
Yeah.
It'll be a good test.
That'll be a great test. Let's continue to Group G.
G for great.
G for Gunnar Granite Mountain Goat.
Gunnar Granite Mountain Goat. Swiss Shaka is back. Arsenal's 2-time player of the month. A top 5 midfielder in the Prem. This guy is on a mission, a reconnaissance, if you will. He's the best left-footed player in North London. He's the best player on the Swiss national team. He's their captain. He was their number 10. He is going to lead them to a second-place finish in what many are calling the group of death. That's all I got.
No one's calling this a group of death.
Serbia, Milinkovic-Savic. That's it.
Okay. I just want to have that soundbite of the rattling of accolades.
Uh-huh.
And then when Switzerland's like 3rd or 4th in the group, just...
That would be so heartbreaking. Didn't they lose in penalties in the Euro or something heartbreaking?
I don't know. I mean, they did beat France in the Euros.
Oh, shit, you're right.
They beat them in pens, I believe.
That was it. I love the Swiss team, though. Fabian Schär in the back.
And I mean,
I feel like Jan Sommer's been their goalie for 10 years.
And this team is not that different from that team that beat France in the Euros.
No, it's not. And Shaka's in the best form of his life.
So I have them too. I have Brazil 1.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
Brazil should be the undisputed one if everyone says what they say they are.
Oh, my God, Brazil.
And I think Switzerland's going to, you're going to see a few Gunnar Granite Mountain Goat masterclass performances in the group stage. But I think other than that, I think it's going to be a pretty underwhelming group. I think Brazil's kind of going to steamroll their way through.
I am always hesitant about Brazilian teams.
I am too.
I fucking love this team.
They have the greatest roster in the entire world.
So, you know, I've been doing my highlighting things with players.
Mm-hmm.
This is how many players are on rosters this year? 23?
I believe it's
I know it's up.
26.
26, because the 5 sub rule is in effect this World Cup.
26.
I highlighted 21 players.
Yeah, read them off.
They have the two.
Actually, read off the names that you didn't highlight.
Weverton, Bremer, Everton Ribeiro, Fred.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's kind of pointless. I don't know why I asked. I just wanted to know, like, what. I was seeing if even the players you didn't highlight were still quality.
I mean, listen to this, though. Like, they're going to have to fit in 3 of these center backs, Eder Militao, Marquinhos, and Thiago Silva, into a back 2 because they played the right way with a back with 2 center backs.
Right.
It's going to be Telles or Sandro on the left, and it's going to be Danny Alves on the right.
Jesus.
I fucking love the Danny Alves in this World Cup.
I love Danny Alves. Who doesn't love Danny Alves?
Is he the most winning player of all time, technically?
I think so.
He's about to add another trophy. In the midfield, we've got Bruno Guimaraes.
We'll get into that.
Casemiro at the pivot role. We might be seeing a double 6 with Fabinho and Casemiro. They also could go Casemiro and then Guimaraes and Paqueta, which I would love. Paqueta's been quiet this year in the Prem, though, so.
So quality.
Oh, my God, the attack. You want to hear it?
Yeah, I do.
Antony, who is stupid as he looks, he's talented as hell.
Yep.
Gabriel Jesus.
Yep.
Gabriel Martinelli.
Yep.
Neymar. Pedro. Rafinha. Richarlison. Rodrigo. Vinny Jr.
Enough said. I think you're going to steamroll their way through the group round. I think they're the number 1 team in the world. They are ranked number 1.
Their best player has never looked better than he is now. He's never had a better mentality than he does now.
Agreed. He's healthy. Bruno
Guimaraes is going to surprise a lot of people.
He's phenomenal. He is phenomenal.
I love him.
And we'll get into how far we each have Brazil going.
Yeah.
It's far.
We can do Group H?
Yeah. Let's do Group H, and then we'll go into
Group of Death.
This is the group of death.
We kind of just have, it's like a group of hospice this year.
It's a group of...
Like you're close to death.
It's a relative group of death. I think a group of hospice is a great way to put it.
Yeah, you have to have your affairs in order.
So here we go. I mean, we got Portugal, Uruguay, not North Korea. That would be quite the curveball. South Korea, pardon me, and Ghana. So that's the order that I have them in.
I have Portugal, Uruguay, Ghana, and then South Korea.
Okay.
I like Ghana a little bit. Salisu's nice for Southampton. They've got a top 5, 6 in the world in Thomas Partey. There's only so much that position can do in a World Cup, though.
Yep.
Jordan Ayew is going to be fun, but
sure.
I also don't think Heung-min Son can put a team on his back.
Yeah, I think Uruguay actually is a very underrated team as well.
Let's talk about them. Let's talk about that midfield.
Yeah.
Because Lucas Torreira, Fede Valverde, and Ben Bentancur is a really, really talented midfield.
It's very talented.
I love Fede Valverde.
Very good.
I love this guy. Like, he does it all.
Yeah.
Like, he's the ultimate put a midfield on his back. And he has players around him that, like, you kind of don't need to be carried. Right?
Yep.
Can I say that?
Yep.
Now, let's play a game called Is This the Most Hateable, forward pairing of all time?
Let's hear it.
Luis Suarez, Darwin Nunez, and Edison Cavani.
Yeah, no. I know you hate all 3 of those guys.
Darwin Nunez is the one I hate the least. Hate Luis Suarez, hate Edison Cavani. Edison Cavani
According to Sam, and I think this is what you're about to say, is that Edison Cavani hates children.
He hates children. Yeah. Bastard.
All right. Well,
moving on.
Personal bias aside.
Let's talk about
Portugal. Oh, yeah. We'll get into that a little later. I love this Portugal team.
Everyone's down and out on Portugal.
No one has them.
Why?
They're so good. I mean, all right. They have the best outside back in the entire world.
Without a doubt.
They have the 2021 Premier League Player of the Year anchoring their defense.
Mm-hmm. Next to probably the most experienced defender in the World Cup.
Him and Thiago Silva, yeah.
Just Pepe's back.
Pepe's back.
Where's he? Besiktas now?
Yep. He's puttering around in Turkey.
They've got Diego Dallo.
They have
Rui Patricio has a little Ochoa to him.
He does.
I'm gonna say that.
It's like Ochoa in Buffon's like physical appearance.
Yes, that's good.
Yeah.
And to have all of Wolverhampton.
They have all. Yeah. I mean, Ruben Neves. Pardon.
All good.
Bernardo Silva is a world-class player. And he's a world-class midfielder, and he's a world-class forward.
He's all of it. He's a world-class winger.
He's everything. And then you pair him with
Rafael.
Oh
my God.
I love Rafael.
I love Rafael. Everything we said about Timo Werner, opposite for Rafael Leao.
Oh my God.
This guy does everything right.
He's incredible. He is fast. He is clinical.
You watch him
strong.
He's always in the right place.
He plays for AC Milan if you don't know, and he's getting looks from Real Madrid. He's probably going to get, sold for a ridiculous fee.
Yeah.
But
he's like 6'2". He's huge.
He's huge. And I'm so high on him.
I love him.
João
Felix is going to come off the bench.
And we haven't even mentioned Ronaldo.
Oh, do they have Ronaldo?
It appears they do.
An
An angry one.
So here's what you want to hear my conspiracy?
Yeah.
He dropped the interview this week so he can go to Portugal, win the World Cup, and retire because Man U's going to terminate his contract. Because the reason he wants to keep playing club football is because he wants to have the Champions League goal scoring record. But if he gets a World Cup, that's all for naught.
Yeah.
You win a World Cup. If Ronaldo wins a World Cup, he's the undisputed greatest player of all time.
Yeah.
And you will not tell me otherwise.
Yeah.
If Messi wins a World Cup, he is the undisputed greatest player of all time, and
agree.
you will not tell me otherwise.
I agree. If Ronaldo wins a World Cup after trashing the wrongdoings of Man United, here's
You're gonna do like 2 minutes on this interview.
Yeah,
go.
I have my own opinions about this. I love Ronaldo. I love everything about him.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was wrong for him. To say the things about the current manager.
Yes, can't do that.
You can't do that. However, people, and you and I have briefly discussed this. People are worrying more about the fact that he did the interview and that he trashed United than they are paying attention about what he's actually saying. He feels betrayed. He feels that United didn't listen to his, the health of his child. He feels that United haven't made progress in their, rehabilitation and facilities and everything like that.
The swimming pool, like everything's the same as it was when he was there in the early 2000s.
This is a concern.
He's right.
And he's right. And he's angry, and he's going to put on a Portugal jersey.
And the living out of the rest of the world.
And I'm here for it. I cannot wait to see it.
Here's my thing with it.
Yep.
Is if you look at the players around him, it's Rafael Leao, it's Andre Silva, it's Carvalho, it's Bruno Fernandes, it's Bernardo Silva. These are creative players.
Yep.
This is like plugging Holland into the City system. You just need someone that can just finish.
Yeah.
And if there's one thing that Ronaldo can do at this age right now,
Right.
37, it's he can finish like
You're
no
not
other.
asking him to be the system anymore.
He's not the system. He's the finisher. That's why I have him winning Golden Boot. I wouldn't be surprised. I have him in my finals. I love this team.
Yep, I do too.
Everyone went the other way on Portugal.
No, I haven't jumped ship at all.
The modern game is played with crucial finishers, like creative outside players and outside backs.
And they have the two most, I'd argue, the most modernized player from a defensive perspective in the world right now, in Cancelo. They have a tremendous leader in the back.
Yeah.
Tremendous distributor. They have like you said, the experience of Pepe. They have all the green flags. People just love to count them out.
They do. Right? Like everyone gravitates. There's been a lot of messy gravitation recently, and because of that, which I don't have a problem with Argentina having the most bets, like, fine.
No, there's a lot of Messi gravitation happening.
But then on the other hand, it swings. It's very pendulum-y, where people are now like, oh, okay, no more Ronaldo.
Now, the thing is, there is Messi gravitation due to the fact that Messi's playing phenomenally right now.
He's brilliant right now.
However, this is a team sport. And
Thanks, Ben.
this is a team sport.
It is. There's no doubt about it.
And as much as a plus it is to have Messi in form right now, what are you doing with that midfield?
What midfield?
Who's giving the ball to him? Who's giving the ball to him? With Ronaldo, who's, maybe not in great form right now, but the team is so good around him.
Oh, it's beautiful.
It's a World Cup winning team.
That's how you build a
team
World Cup winning team.
Right. So I have Portugal going very far, but
you want to take a break and then
Yeah.
go to our knockout rounds?
yeah, let's do it.
All right, sweet. We'll be right back. And we're back. Not like Texas, but we're back.
We're back.
We're gonna do some knockout round predictions,
Let's do it.
if we're okay with that.
Yeah.
How do you want to do this?
We each have different group stage winners, so our knockouts matchups gonna be a little different.
Let's do the AB matchup first.
Okay.
So I have Senegal beating the United States.
I have This is kind of strange because I have Netherlands in that spot,
Yeah,
so they're gonna look a little different.
it is.
Do you just want to name the 8 teams that you have advancing out of the first round?
That's very smart. So I have Senegal beating the United States. I have Argentina beating Denmark. I have Germany beating Canada. I have Brazil beating Uruguay. On the other side, I have Portugal beating Switzerland. Pain. I have Spain beating Belgium. I have France beating Mexico. And I have England beating the Netherlands.
So we have the same 8 teams.
Okay.
They're just matched up differently.
Okay.
Which is perfect because I think theoretically that we
Yes.
should have the same quarterfinal matchups. Right?
I think so.
Who's your match 57?
What? I'm on a different thing.
Okay. Sorry.
You're good. Who do you have Senegal playing?
Never mind.
Okay. You have the U.S. beating Senegal.
I have the Netherlands as Senegal's place. So I guess we don't have the same 8 teams advancing. Because I have Netherlands. And Senegal loses to England in my round of 16.
Okay. So let's just do it again. Now you give me the 4 teams you have advancing from your quarterfinals.
Okay. So I have, in my quarterfinals, I have Netherlands and Argentina, Spain and Brazil, England, France, and Germany versus Portugal. I have Netherlands coming out of the Argentina matchup. Spain is going to beat Brazil.
Woo!
Spain is going to beat Brazil.
Okay.
France is going to beat England in a Battle of Hastings rematch.
Oh, I like that. 1066.
Yeah, exactly. And Portugal is going to beat Germany.
That? Okay.
I have the Netherlands going far, and I have Spain going far.
So I have England beating France. Do you have France beating England?
I have France beating England. You have England beating France.
I feel like I'm wrong.
I think you're wrong, but I'm going to say you're wrong, and then England's going to beat France, and I'm going to be like...
It's a little, for me, that's like where the experience comes into play. I have Portugal beating Spain in a Battle of Iberia.
Okay.
I have Brazil beating Germany.
Okay.
And I think whoever wins that matchup goes to the finals.
Okay.
Because the other side is Argentina-Senegal. Argentina wins that to go on to play the winner of Brazil or Germany in the semis.
Okay.
I have Brazil. And then I have Portugal beating England in the other semi. And I have a Brazil-Portugal final.
You have a Brazil-Portugal final. I am 1 game away from a Brazil-Portugal final. Meaning, I don't have Brazil in my semis. I think that if Spain does not beat Brazil, then the Netherlands will not beat Brazil in my semifinals.
So
and Brazil advances.
So your Spain-Brazil is my Germany-Brazil.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that. And then you have Portugal winning it all?
I've your Battle of Iberia in the semifinals is what I have in my final. I
Oh.
think Spain gets to the final.
Really?
I think Spain gets to the final.
The ultimate youth team versus the ultimate experienced team.
Croatia got to the 2018 final.
No, you're right.
Was it a perfect top-down team? Were there creative, insane, gifted midfield players who made winning plays?
I like that.
You just need one or two crucial finishers. They have a good back line, an experienced back line.
I have no problem with that, actually.
Like,
so what's your 4 teams?
Netherlands,
Okay.
Spain, France, and Portugal. And the Netherlands is one that has an easier road
Oh.
because they're going to beat USA in the first round. They're going to beat Argentina in the second round. Because I think the best parts of Argentina are going to be counteracted by the best parts of Netherlands.
So, okay, so that makes sense to me.
And then
I just have Senegal winning that group.
Right.
Okay.
But I don't think it's ridiculous to say at all that Netherlands isn't capable of beating Argentina.
No, they're very. If there's a
team to do it, it's the Netherlands.
If there's a team in this tournament that I'm like, I need to stop Argentina, I'm throwing the Dutch out.
Exactly. And then
it goes Dutch.
It goes Dutch. And there are other universes where it'll go Argentine. In mine, it just happens to go Dutch.
No, I get that. I have no problem with it.
And then I think they'll play Spain and they'll lose to Spain.
And Cristiano Ronaldo
because I
is a World Cup winner.
And Cristiano Ronaldo is a World Cup winner.
Wow, I would cry.
I would cry.
That would be incredible.
But that is I think France gets to the other semifinal. I think people have kind of counted out France weirdly.
Yeah,
but I think they're just as good as they were. I just think the cards fall a little differently.
I hope Ronaldo gets it.
And I think
God damn, I hope Ronaldo gets it.
And I think it's a Spain. Pardon me, the Spain-Portugal final.
Wow, the storylines.
Now I have all European teams in my semis.
Yeah, that's audacious. I have 2 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
The South American fans travel, man. They're trying to make a difference.
They travel, and I do think they will make a difference, but I just think this is the way that the cards fall.
Ronaldo needs a break.
This is the way that the cards are going to fall.
I love it. If Portugal win and I am wrong, I will be the happiest man on earth.
Because here's the thing with each World Cup, there's not a perfect balance at each stage.
No.
There's no rhyme or reason this thing has to follow. If Brazil doesn't make a semifinal, logic says Argentina should. That doesn't mean it's necessarily true.
Yeah. All it takes is one Sadio Mane breakaway.
Can they do it in a rainy night in Qatar?
I don't think it rains in Qatar.
All right, well, can you do it on a sandy night in Qatar?
That's a good question. Likely not.
We're going to find out.
We are going to find out. You want to do our individual award stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we've kind of mapped out a whole scheme here.
Bunch of stuff here.
Yeah.
Here, so I'll read it off, and then you'll go first, and then I'll go second.
Sure.
That sound good?
Yeah, absolutely.
So who's your favorite to win it?
The
Not who you're picking, but
the favorite's Brazil.
Yeah.
They have the best top-down roster in the entire world. They have arguably the best offensive player.
Yeah.
It's Brazil.
We all owe Neymar an apology.
Yeah.
I was down and out on this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I'm super impressed. The way he's handled this Mbappe situation is beyond mature.
Yep.
It's a very different Neymar than the one that got injured in 2014.
Yep.
Right, 2014. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And your favorite is also
Brazil. This is Neymar's last World Cup.
Yes, it is.
It's Ronaldo's last World Cup.
It's Messi's.
It's Neuer's.
I was going to say Ramos, but damn.
He just didn't know that was his last World Cup.
Yeah.
It's been a good run.
It's been a great run. It was kind of the last little
Hurrah.
nugget
Before
of our generation.
Yeah. I like that. I like that it all timed up well.
Yeah.
It'd be weird to see like Neymar in the World Cup without. Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Because Neymar peaked early.
He did. He peaked really early.
So this kind of...
And he's had the second peak, but now he's saying this is the end.
Yeah.
So
it matches up. Because you could say like Ronaldo peaked twice, too.
Yeah, you really could. Okay. Dark horse?
Dark horse. I think Netherlands are a dark horse.
Okay. You touched on them a little bit.
I did. And you know how good the defense is. You know everything about them. I think people are going to, they're not really talking about him.
No one talks about the Netherlands.
This is what a dark horse does. You don't get talked about. You come in, you making a lot of noise.
Yes.
So, I have Netherlands.
I have no problem with that. I have Senegal.
Okay.
Same reasons.
Yep.
No one's talking about them. They have probably one of the biggest X factors in the World Cup.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Liverpool are realizing that I love Mo Salah with all of my heart. He is probably one of the most fun non-Arsenal players to watch for me.
But it was Mane.
Yeah. Just the way they play in that system with the pressing and the width that they play, it was Mane.
Yep.
Because they had success before Salah.
Yep.
But they're not going to have success after Mane.
Yep.
It was Mane.
It was.
But yeah, I also love Koulibaly.
I do as well.
I love Koulibaly. And he's like, Chelsea did a great job ensuring that he was healthy because he had a little bit of like a knock a month ago or so. So they've only been playing him like every once in a while.
And it's kind of jarring to see him play in the Premier League because he's such a bull in a china shop.
Yeah.
Like, the way he goes through tackles is so unconventional. Like,
doesn't care that there's a life on the other end of it.
He does not care. Which is, you don't see that in the Premier League.
No, you don't.
Like, I haven't seen anything like it. In the Chelsea games I've watched, I'm like, this is someone who will just go through you.
He's the opposite of Thiago Silva.
Yeah.
Thiago Silva will just methodically break you down defensively. Another guy, super impressed with this year.
Yep.
I think he's going to be good for Brazil. Anyway.
Golden Boot. I have Benzema.
Oh. Okay.
He's best player. He's the Ballon d'Or winner.
He is.
He is the best goal scorer in the world right now.
Certainly.
He's I think he's the most clinical player in the world right now. In the World Cup, at least outside of Holland.
Yep.
And I think this is just another nail in the Ballon d'Or coffin, where it's like, this is why he won the... Because I think it was incredibly deserved.
That's fair.
I think we're just gonna see how well he's able to perform. And France goes far enough in my universe where he has the opportunity to get as many games in to score as much as possible.
Fair. I have Ronaldo.
Yeah.
For the very reason that I already said, his only job is to score.
Mm-hmm.
And he's probably the best pure finisher of all time. Can we say that?
Yep.
And yes, it's not what he was even 2 years ago, right? But if his only job is to finish, he's going to do that. Yep. I liked the Benzema pick, though. Another name I like is Thomas Muller. Because he always just seems to find the goal. Like,
that's a weird one.
Like, you'll watch a Germany game or you'll watch a Bayern game, and you'll just, like, not notice him, and then he'll grab 2 goals.
Yeah.
And, like, he scored, like, this tap-in and this one where, like, he weirdly, like, the defender won the challenge and it bounced back to Muller and he slotted it in.
Totally.
But he always scores goals. And I think this Germany team's going to have enough creativity around him. I'm high on Germany this year. I don't know if you can
I like
tell.
that. I know.
He's also like a World Cup guy. Germany just pump out World Cup guys.
Yeah. Miroslav Klose.
Mario Gomez.
Mario Gomez. Wow. I forgot about
You want to hear a crazy throwback one?
Yep.
Holger Babstuber.
Wow.
Do you want to guess how old he is now?
He's surprisingly young, right?
33.
Yeah. Wow.
I would have thought he was in his 40s.
Same.
Okay. Golden Ball. Best player of the World Cup.
Golden Ball.
You want to hear mine?
Yep.
Neymar.
Neymar wins Golden Ball.
Neymar wins Golden Ball. I feel like in the past, the Gold Ball has always been like the consolation prize for the best player on the second place team.
Yep.
Unless it's like a crazy situation.
Now, I don't think Ronaldo is going to win it.
I agree.
Because I don't think you're going to see, like, it's not like, oh, this is Ronaldo.
He's not going to be the best player. It's going to be a team win.
You're going to hear my scorching take.
Yeah.
Pedri.
Whoa. I love that.
I think that, I have Spain going to the finals.
Yeah.
And I think we're about to see a Pedri masterclass.
This is going, yes.
And I think if Brazil gets to the semis, it's Neymar's.
Yeah.
But if they don't, it's Pedri's.
I like that a lot. That's a great pick. Golden Glove?
Golden Glove, I have whoever Brazil's keeper is going to be.
It's going to be Allison.
Then I have Allison.
I like that.
'Cause I just think that we're just going to see how good. Like, group stage knockout, quarterfinal, we're going to be like, Jesus, this guy's insane.
So I have Neuer.
That would make sense.
My reason for that is with Brazil, it's almost a situation where it doesn't matter how good their goalie is.
That's true.
With Germany, the defense is good enough where they're not going to let in 2+ goals a match.
Right.
But they're not good enough to the fact where Neuer is obsolete. And that's my worry with Brazil. So we're still going to see how good Neuer is, but he's not going to be conceding.
And you have Germany going very far in the tournament.
I do have Germany going very far in the tournament.
I like that take.
Thank you.
All right, let's go to some countries that we think
are going to disappoint us
or surprise us.
What's one country that will surprise you?
I have Spain.
Yeah,
obviously. I think they're going to turn some heads.
Yeah,
because they're class.
They're class.
And the Spanish in the World Cup. What's a better combination?
That's fair.
Tiki-taka.
Tiki-taka.
It's going to go crazy.
Oh, it's beautiful.
The Pedri, Gavi, Busquets, tiki-taka.
I cannot wait for in 10 years, when all the managers are retired, and Pep is managing Spain, when Pedri and Gavi are 29, 30. Right. Oh, it's going to be beautiful. No, I like Spain there. I'm going to be cautiously optimistic and say England.
Okay.
I think they're going to finally move past the Maguire tomfoolery.
Okay.
And I think they're going to surprise us. Not in wins, but in the way they play.
Interesting. I like that.
Right?
You're like, wow, England looked... Yeah, they lost.
They looked like a modern team.
But they looked like... Yeah. Okay. I can get behind that.
Who disappoints you?
The same team that's disappointed me for every major tournament in the last 4 to 6 years. Belgium. The bar's on the floor, and they're going to go right under it. They're digging a hole. Like, they just find a way to bottle it, like you said.
Yeah.
And they have so much talent.
They're the best midfielder in the world.
Yep.
Arguably the best Premier League midfielder of all time.
And I think people are kind of like, this is like, they've passed the golden generation. Or they've passed the peak of it. This is, the parabola hasn't steepened quite.
Yes.
Like, quite substantially yet.
That's fair.
They still have the same talent.
Mm-hmm.
They have a good amount of young players. Mm-hmm. I just don't think they're going to do anything very significant.
When you have Axel Witsel in your midfield.
But they've, like, De Bruyne, Lukaku, like, I just think that
Courtois.
It's not going to go. Courtois. They're just not going to do great things in this World Cup.
Completely fair. I know I'm jinxing myself saying this, but I have Argentina. For the last 10 years.
I don't hate that.
For the last 10 years, Argentina is the team that should win the tournament and don't. The only thing that's changed is their midfield's gotten worse and their attack has gotten older.
Yep.
I don't have faith. And I'm sorry to all the Messi people that are listening to this. This is not a slight on him. He's carried teams in the past. I have no doubt that he can do that now. But I will not be disappointed because I don't rate them highly.
Mm-hmm.
Other people do. Yep. So I think when they go out, even if they go out in the semis, people are going to be disappointed. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So you have to have a midfield to win. You just do. It's the first tenet of everything regarding the sport.
Yep.
And they didn't follow it.
I don't even think they didn't follow it. I just don't think
they
can.
They can, yeah.
There's not anyone where like, wow, if only they brought in, not an Argentinian movie star.
Yes.
Then they would have done, they would have a way more well-rounded team. They just don't have the personnel.
Do we want to list our individual teams? So the way we did this is we have a combined, just made of individual players. And it's two teams. One is a team that we are really excited to watch, and we think these are guys that can take a step.
Yes.
Like these are your Musa Sissokos after the Euro that one year.
Right.
And then the other team is we have an all-disappointing team. These are guys we think are going to underperform. Either they're not living up to the hype, or it's okay, this guy's past his prime. Let's move away from him.
Right.
Let's start off with all disappointing so we can end on a positive.
Yeah, works great for me.
You just want to alternate? Or if there's a guy that you like more, we can talk. You know what? We'll just read him off. At goalie, we have Lloris. This guy sucks.
Yeah.
He recently came out and said that he's not going to complain about Qatar's stance on murdering gay people. Which, if you needed a reason to dislike Hugo Lloris more, you have one.
There you go.
For those of us that have already reached the ceiling in terms of the capacity for hatred for this man.
It's a bold play.
It's very audacious. He's another fuck this guy candidate, I think.
Yeah.
He cost Tottenham
at least a nominee.
At least a nominee. He cost Tottenham a loss against Newcastle single-handedly.
Yeah, he did.
In a Karius-like performance.
Totally.
He's past his prime.
He is past his prime. And I think that he's just someone who is on. He was on a world-class World Cup winning team.
Mm-hmm.
He's been on good Tottenham teams.
Uh-huh.
But he's never been that guy.
He's never been that guy.
You're not him.
You're not.
You're not. It's like it's never Lloris go win me this game. We need a clutch performance. Go win me this game. It's, hey, worth throwing you out there.
Yeah.
You're kind of our guy, but, we have other players who are going to win this game for us.
Yes.
I mean, even the World Cup final. What did he do in the World Cup final?
He let in 2 goals.
He tried to dribble. Was it past Mandzukic?
Yes, you're
Do you
right.
remember that?
Yes.
He took a touch with his left foot, tried to take it away.
He's terrible with his feet.
He's awful. And it's a World Cup final. Yeah, you're winning, but you cannot be making that mistake.
France had no business only winning 4-2 against Croatia.
Yeah. Pogba scored.
Pog back.
Yeah.
Those were the days.
Those were the days.
So I put this next name in here at right back. We just did 2 outside backs. It doesn't really matter left or right. I had Pavard, Benjamin Pavard. Yeah. I know all the French people love him.
You're not too high on him.
I'm not high on him. He had a banger.
Goal of the tournament.
As it should have been. And he's just kind of ridden that. I don't think he defends particularly well. I don't think he really can create that much on his own.
And I don't think this is something that's like a scorching take. I think it's just
another right back.
It's just
not
another
bad.
right back. Yeah.
Yeah.
But with the hype that he's gotten, I think it's okay to be disappointed by him. Underwhelmed.
That's a good way of putting it. That's a good way of putting it.
So let's and then on the other side is Dest.
That feels anti-American of us. But if you watch him, it's like, oh, this is the guy
This is the Barca guy?
This is the Barca. He played for Barca. You'll understand why Barca signed a 37-year-old Dani Alves for like half a year.
Yep. This guy?
This guy's better than Yedlin, is he? Yedlin's not that good.
He's almost like a baby Trent, where it's like you're fast, you're okay going forward. Trent's obviously more than okay going forward, but you can't defend.
Can I say something super disrespectful?
By all means.
You know who I see in both these guys?
Who do you see?
Hector Bellerin.
I don't. Sam's just
in Dest and
really,
Yedlin. They're both just
really
Hector
trying
Bellerin.
to pull some
No,
Arsenal heartstrings here.
they were Hector. No, that's not a good thing.
It's not. You're right. I know. I'm just saying.
It's the can't put himself in the right position, can't get stuck into a challenge, can't play out of the back well.
All right.
But because they're fast, they get away with it.
I'll take your Hector Bellerin comparison.
Okay. You want to talk?
I think this list is just you finding players in the World Cup that put forth the worst qualities in your least favorite Arsenal players in the last 5 years. So
That's fair about one of the center backs, not the other center back. You do the center backs.
all right. So 2 center backs. Harry Maguire
Speaks for itself.
speaks for itself. Yeah, enough said.
Slabhead.
And Marquinhos. Marquinhos is one where it's like we're not disappointed. We're not mad. We're just disappointed.
Because he's never played against anyone with PSG that would even break the PSG top 15.
Agreed.
And now he's going to be paired again with Thiago Silva.
Yep.
He's going to have Alisson behind him. So we're not going to be able to tell how good he is.
Mid.
And we think he might be mid.
He's mid.
He's just either surrounded by a lot of talent or doesn't play against any talent.
Yeah.
I think it's just going to be like, oh,
Ah.
that's Marquinhos?
Okay. Good.
Oh,
All right.
okay. Fine.
Moving on.
Moving on.
Now we're gonna go into our midfield. And
I love these 3 picks.
these are great 3 picks. We got 3 midfielders. The first one is Yuri Tielemans.
Yeah.
Probably my all-time favorite FIFA career mode player.
Dude. Just an automatic 90.
Yeah. He for those who don't know, he's Belgian.
Shockingly, he's going to underperform.
And he's going to underperform, much like the rest of his team.
He's underperforming in Leicester now. He's going to underperform for Belgium in the World Cup. He was supposed to be the next great thing in the midfield.
Yeah.
You know what he's not?
That.
He's not the next great thing.
So, yeah, I mean, trust me, his career mode potential is just ticked down every year. FIFA 17. Oh,
Mamma mia.
oh my God.
Oh, my goodness. Can the British take a fucking break with Mason Mount?
Yeah.
Crikey hell. I watch this guy. I am not impressed.
No, me neither.
I watch him. I'm like, Emile Smith-Rowe on one leg is probably as productive, if not better than this guy.
Also, not for nothing.
What does he do well?
He looks like Hitler. I think that should count.
That should count for something. We made fun of Carl Jenkinson for having a fat face. I think if you look like a war criminal, I think that's got to count for something.
The mustache and everything.
Oh, it's terrible.
It's really
But
blatant.
it's because he's like prepubescent, but he's like 23, so it's bad.
He's a guy who you look at him and you're like, what? You don't have fun watching him play.
It's like, what can you do for my team?
What are you going to do for Chelsea, who produces a lot of empty chances and a lot of talent on the ball without a lot of identity?
That's a good way of putting it.
This is a perfect player for Chelsea.
What do we call them? Plastic winners?
They're plastic winners. It's like, wow, Chelsea just won. Well, I guess now they lose a lot.
Yeah,
but it's like when they're in form, even.
Yeah.
It's, Chelsea just won, but it's like there's no passion. There's no identity. They're not getting stuck in. It's like when you press sim on FIFA.
That's good.
And it's like, 2-0. It's like, yeah, but what did I just watch?
So they just
I didn't feel anything.
You watch United, you watch Arsenal, you watch
City.
Newcastle this year, you watch City. You feel they're unlocking a puzzle of the other team.
Yes.
You watch Chelsea, and it's just kind of like it's like watching your dog try and like catch a ball until he finally catches it.
Yeah. It's just like,
you got it. Right? Oh, it didn't bounce off his teeth that time. Good work, buddy. Come get a treat.
But you're not like riveted by the dog.
No, it's like, okay. Like most dogs can do that. If
it was, you're a show dog. You should be able to do that.
And if it's an ugly dog, no one gives it. No one cares.
Right. I think. And then the third midfielder.
I think we don't like Chelsea.
We don't.
Because we've talked about Timo Werner, Mason Mount. I don't think we like Chelsea.
We don't like Chelsea. And our third midfielder to kind of round it out is Sergio Busquets. And this is not one where we're like, this guy's a fraud.
No.
We know he's not.
He's a legend.
He's a legend.
But
he's just old.
Rodri is going to be the heart of that midfield.
Pedri's going to be the heart of the midfield.
Let me try again.
Okay.
Rodri is going to be the anchor of that midfield.
Fair enough.
They might have very well brought Busquets in as you're just going to be our leader.
Yeah. And I think he'll do a great job in that role.
Oh, he's going to thrive in it. But
from on the field stuff, the stuff that you're going to see, you're not going to be impressed. Like, oh wow, Pedri's really good.
Like Busquets, like he's still playing.
It's like, oh, okay, good
now,
for him.
It is Busquets as in from the best midfield of all time.
Yeah.
But it's still
30.
He's still playing?
Right. It's like, oh wow, he didn't retire?
He looks like he should have retired. Wow. Are those cement blocks on his feet?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right, like that.
You're gonna be like, all right.
Now,
underwhelmed.
Rodri plays like he has cement blocks on his feet.
He does.
But at least he plays like
he doesn't move, but
he doesn't need to.
He doesn't need to. The ball gets out of his feet quick enough.
And he moves the ball.
He does move the ball. He's a great control pass, but he's not going to be like, wow, Rodri's everywhere.
Can I just say I feel for Calvin Phillips because he should be starting on that City team, and then Rodri was like, nah, I'm just going to be like a dominant six.
Yeah, it's tough.
Shame. All right.
Forwards.
We've got we talked about kind of all three of these guys a little bit. Ansu Fati, you could have guessed based off how we were talking.
Mid. Not a mid player, just mid World Cup ahead of him.
Yeah, exactly. Because the other thing is all of Spain's glory is not going to be at his feet.
Right.
We've Kai Havertz. You know how we feel.
Yep.
You know how we feel. He does not fit into the German way of playing. I'll tell you that right now.
But he fits into the Chelsea one.
He sure as hell does. You know why? Because there's no distinct way of playing.
Yep.
You gonna do the last one?
I think it's only fitting if you do the last one.
Arsenal reject because he was too fat, Harry Kane. That's true.
That's a proper introduction.
Thank you. He was 15, a little chubby. Arsenal said no. Harry Kane is not built for the way England plays. He is a leader. Yes, fine. I'll give you that.
Right.
I'm Harry Kane.
Right.
He's the Alan Shearer we have at home. He is... What else can I say? Mm-hmm. I don't respect him. I think to succeed, to be the man on a team.
He thinks he's Haaland.
He thinks he's Haaland, but he's closer to Giroud. How's that?
It's great.
Less athletic. He's a guy that you watch play, and you're like, how did he score 2 goals? Because he can't beat anyone on the dribble. He doesn't pass particularly well. He doesn't move particularly well. He always finds himself in the right spot.
Yeah, or it'd be like the goal against Newcastle.
Yes.
Ball in the box. Oh, it dropped at his feet.
He's a poacher.
Yeah, he's a poacher.
And he's made a career out of being a poacher. But
I think, 3-4 years ago, we have different conversations about him. We're like, wow, because he created chances for himself really well. But I think now he's kind of set back. He's kind of dug his heels into the poacher role. He's kind of let goals come to him instead of create things for himself. I think, there's a reason why his productions aren't as high, but he's still so good at what he does.
Yes.
He's able to put up those numbers.
And in this England system, it's one of those where I think he's not going to do as well as he could have if England played a different way.
Yeah.
If they just played with more creativity around him, I think he could look like the best striker in this World Cup by far.
Exactly.
But they're relying on him for the creativity, and that's not going to benefit him.
Agreed.
Okay.
So
that was good negativity.
Great negativity.
You want to be positive?
Just like my blood type, let's be positive.
That was really good.
I don't even know if it's my blood type.
Well, now it has to be.
Well, it is now. All right. I'll start us off.
Oh, please. With Guillermo.
We're starting us off with the greatest World Cup goalkeeper outside of Neuer. Ever.
Of all time.
He is a guy who will disappear off the face of the planet.
He hibernates. They put him on ice.
It is none other than Mexico's goalkeeper, Ochoa.
The curly-haired magician.
He will fall off the face of the planet every 4 years.
His family won't know where he goes.
He's a cicada.
That's brilliant.
He's a cicada.
He's a cicada. but he doesn't just get stuck on a tree.
No, but he's brilliant. He's a cicada because he basically has 6 legs, 6 arms.
Yep.
And, you might as well just bolt up Mexico's goal right now.
Might as well. Because you're not scoring on it.
They're not going to score either.
No.
So they're going to...
There's no Chicharito this World Cup.
Yeah, that feels weird.
Feels very bizarre.
But, I mean, you got to be excited watching Ochoa play, at least in the group stage.
Love Ochoa.
All right.
It'll be fun to see him for 3 games.
Yeah.
Left back, I'll do this one. Teo Hernandez. Oh, my God, I'm in love with this man.
Yeah, I know you are.
The way he plays, and I hope France lets him do what he does for Milan. The way he plays, where it's not like Trent, where he's just go forward and we're going to cover you defensively. He is responsible for shutting down the left side of that Milan defense because they tend to play Tomori on the right. And he's probably their best defender as a pure defender. He could play center back if he wanted to, but he could also play the 10 if he wanted to.
Right.
So he's not even like you hear about the inverted fullbacks with like Zinchenko or like Cancelo, right? He doesn't even do that. He'll go up and play like almost like where Odegaard might play or where De Bruyne might play, and he'll just pull the strings, and then if they lose possession, he's just back defending. He's the what's the bunny? The Energizer bunny.
Energizer bunny
of the left flank, but he's not even limited to that. He's a brilliant finisher. He can pass well. He can do everything. He's the opposite of Sergino Dest.
He might be. You're calling him the best left back in the world. There's an argument to say he's the most well-rounded player in the world.
You know what he is? He's the Marcelo test.
Yep.
If you were to make a team of 11 of the same player, who would it be? And the answer is Teo Hernandez. And
this previously Marcelo, previously David Alaba.
Yes. It's always the left backs.
Yeah.
It's always the left backs. Alphonso Davies has an argument here.
Yeah.
But no, I am so excited to watch this guy on the world stage because he has been balling in Serie A. He had a great Champions League campaign. I'm really excited to see him play.
Yeah, I think it's a great take. On the other side, Man United resident Diogo Dalot. Diego.
Yeah.
Diogo. It's better because it has 2 O's. He is risen into a phenomenal role for United. He's he was signed with like pretty low hype going into his United tenure.
Everyone's just assumed he's mid.
Yep, but I think the acquisition of Ronaldo helped him grab a shell.
I like that.
I got a Portuguese guy with me. I got Bruno Fernandes, who's like balling. I got some roots to this team. He's kind of allowed to grow into himself a little bit more, and he's phenomenal going forward.
Yeah, he's great on the ball, isn't he?
He's a very good defender.
And he's good defensively.
And he's young. This is his first World Cup. He's gonna be fantastic.
Well done.
2 center backs.
We got Rudiger on one hand. He's probably going to be the best center back on the German team this year, unless Süle can do something. But I think it's going to be Rudiger.
Yeah,
I'm excited to see him. I haven't watched much of him since he's left Chelsea.
He was the best center back in the world.
Yeah,
I think this past year.
There's a legit argument for that.
Yep.
I don't think nothing more needs said. This is just a announcement to the world that I'm the best center back.
Exactly.
My personal bias in terms of center backs has always been the strong physical presence, which is why it's taken a long time for me to come around to Thiago Silva. Because, I don't know. I like the guy that's like the
Van Dijk.
I like the Van Dijks of the world, yeah. And I love Rudiger for that very same reason. The other one is Ben White. He's been playing right back for Arsenal. He's been brilliant. He's good on the ball. He's good defending. No one gets past him. I think he's like bottom 5 in dribbled past players in the league this year in the Prem. Or just top. Depends how you want to look at it. He's the best at that top 5. He's likely going to transition back to his preferred center back role for England. And with 2 other center backs with him, if they play their 5 in the back, I think he can thrive.
I love him.
Because he's going to be the best on the ball in that back 3.
Agreed.
And, I mean,
it's also just super fun to watch.
He is.
Like, there's a picture of him that came out, I think it was like last year. Probably one of the coldest pictures I've ever seen. Where it's I forget who Arsenal plays, who they played in that game, but the Arsenal forward missed a sitter, or the opposing forward missed a sitter, and whoever it was, I can't remember, but he puts his head in his hands, and Ben White's just standing on the goal line, just smiling at him, and it's like so cool. Like, he's just a cool guy.
He's just a cool guy, and he does a great job. He's the type of guy you want on your team. Like, you don't want to play against him because he's prone to some nice shithousery.
Yeah.
Like, his stuff in between whistles is hilarious to watch. So,
it's just cool to watch.
Yeah, I think this is going to be his I Am Ben White World Cup.
And now we're going to go into the midfield. I love every single one of the midfielders we've selected for this team.
We did a brilliant job with this. You take the first two, I'll take the last one.
All right. First, Pop and Conte are out, like we said. Someone's got to fill that role, and that someone is Camavinga. I've been so early on the Camavinga train when he was at Rennes. I think it's how you pronounce it.
Some French person probably had an aneurysm, but loved it over it.
He's just phenomenal. He's quick. He's aggressive. Mm-hmm. He's good defensively, but he moves the ball well. Great sense for the game, and a great finisher as well.
Love the guy.
Yeah. The other one is my sleeper for Golden Ball. It's Pedri. This is just going to be a statement. This is going to be a statement World Cup for him.
Yeah.
Like, everyone knows he's world class, but now he's going to have the entire tournament to be like, I am him. And it's going to be phenomenal to watch because he is, I think, the most tactically complete center midfielder in the world right now. Ooh. Just from a knowledge perspective. Like, he's just so much smarter than most right now.
Yeah.
So I think that, I'm excited to watch.
So La Liga's always been midfield dominant.
Yep.
Real Madrid have the midfield of Modric, Kroos, Camavinga, Tukemni, right? Like, they have, 4 or 5 really talented midfielders.
Yep.
Barcelona don't have those names, and they're 2 points up going into the World Cup.
Yep.
That's not for nothing. Pedri's brilliant, and he's, 19?
Yeah.
Oh, my God, it's going to be fun. Third one's Bruno Guimaraes from Newcastle. I insist that this is the best player in the Premier League that's not on a Big Six team. He's someone that Newcastle are grateful that he didn't play like this before he came to Newcastle.
Yep.
Or he would be at Madrid.
And Madrid do want him right now.
They do want him right now. Man loves Newcastle. He's not going to leave, but he is perfect for this Brazil team because he doesn't have to sit back, like kind of fill like the space in between the center backs because they have someone like Casemiro to do that. And he doesn't have to be responsible for all the creativity like he is at Newcastle because they have the most creative group of forwards maybe ever assembled on a World Cup roster.
Right.
He's going to be able to play the perfect 8, and that's what he loves to do. And that's what he did at France next to Paqueta, and now Paqueta's back on the team with him, and he's his best friend. It's going to be beautiful.
It's going to be beautiful.
He's so
fun to watch.
He's so fun to watch. His touch is impeccable.
Yeah.
Another candidate for if I had to have 11 of...
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Might get in trouble winning some aerial duels in the back, but...
Yeah. That's valid. It's a good concern.
Forwards.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Ben's trying to talk. What he meant to say was forwards.
Yeah.
And, I mean, we already raved about Rafael Leao before. But
we did, but he is on this team.
He is the reason we actually made this team.
Yeah. Yeah, he's inspiration.
We just love watching him play.
Oh, my God.
It's just perfection.
He's so good.
It's just incredible.
He's an Adonis.
He is an Adonis.
All right, moving on. The other 2 forwards that we have, one we already touched down on, Memphis Depay.
Yeah.
He's really going to be carrying the Dutch attack, which, I mean, he's going to have to do, but when he's in form, he is incredible. And people kind of wrote him off after his United spell, and then he went to Barca,
People wrote Di Maria off too.
Played phenomenally. I have very high hopes for him.
I do
And
too.
I think that this World Cup, everyone will be like, wow.
And
Wow, this guy's the real deal.
he's the type of guy you want if you're like, we need one person that can both finish and generate chances for other people.
Go
in
win
our
assist
attack.
game, Memphis Depay.
Memphis Depay can do that.
Yep.
Because you don't have to worry about tracking back.
Right.
Because we have Virgil van Dijk.
Right.
And we also happen to have top-tier players around him.
Yeah.
He's going to be so fun to watch. I wouldn't be surprised if they just sit back in Leicester 2016 but it's Memphis Depay instead of Jamie Vardy.
That'd be very fun.
That would be electric. It would be the one time where I feel like sitting back would actually be enjoyable to watch.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know. I have no problem watching a brilliant defensive display when it's being put on by Delete and Virgil van Dijk.
No, I have no qualms.
Our last one.
It's a patriotic one.
A patriotic one. We no longer have to just go to Elland Road to see him play.
Right.
Brendan Aronson.
Brendan Aronson.
Just love the guy.
Yeah, I mean, he is what everyone he reminds everyone a lot of like a younger Pulisic, where it's just like raw, like pure aggression, talent, flair,
Relentlessness. Passion.
But Pulisic's obviously polished his game.
Aronson's
just so silky.
I haven't seen Pulisic play with the joy that Aronson plays with in a long time. And Chelsea does that to someone. I think he regrets moving. I assume he does. I would. But with Aronson, he is in a system built for him at Leeds.
Yeah.
He has complete buy-in. Both he's bought into the manager and the manager's bought into him.
Absolutely.
The chemistry he's building with Tyler Adams is probably what's going to push America to the next level of this World Cup.
Absolutely.
If we make it to the quarterfinals, it's because of those two being familiar with each other in the midfield.
There you
And
have
if
it.
Greg fucking
There we
Berhalter
go.
plays Brendan Aronson on the wing, I am going to fly to Qatar.
Yep.
And because this is a Bowden Orient owned podcast, I cannot make a threat against anybody.
No. Are we gonna have to?
No, we can swear.
Okay.
Don't worry. But somehow America gets the most boneheaded morons for manager.
Yeah.
Year after year after year. The Greg Berhalter decision, his brother is the chief of U.S. Soccer. Greg Berhalter was fired, and I'm probably wrong on this, but the reasoning is correct, from what I believe is a second division, Finnish team for not playing attacking football.
Okay. This is concerning.
You know what his next job was?
Head coach of the U.S.
Head coach of the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
This guy's a bum. He finally did a great.
He has small hands.
He can't catch. Apparently, he doesn't want to play Tim Ream, who's the captain of Fulham, who's a top 10 team in the Premier League, with the, I think, second least number of goals against, besides City, Arsenal, and Newcastle. They're tied, so that's why I said second.
Yep.
He stinks, and I'm out on him. But I think Brendan Aronson can be our savior.
I think savior is a. I'm not putting all my eggs in the Brendan Aronson
No, I'm
basket
not.
for the U.S.
But right now,
I do think that he's going to be our largest contributor.
he is.
In this World Cup. And that's our 11.
That's our 11. And that's our World Cup preview.
There it is.
Do you have anything else to add?
I don't. I think there's a lot of information here.
Do with it what you want.
Do with it what you want. I think a lot of takes that we have are. We should do a little revisit. Just be like, wow, this aged awfully.
This aged terribly.
Yeah.
But when Ronaldo wins the World Cup,
It's going to age great.
oh my goodness. That would be
I just can't wait to see him lift that trophy.
something.
They should institute a finals MVP.
Christ.
The Andre Iguodala finals MVP. That's
So
what they
here's
should
the
call
thing.
him.
If Ronaldo wins the World Cup, does he retire?
He should.
He
He absolutely should.
Absolutely should.
This is like LeBron winning his 5th ring now.
This is like LeBron going undefeated in a season is what this would be. That's probably not
It's probably not true.
God damn it.
But if LeBron turned the Lakers team around amidst its shambles, and then was like, here's a ring. And everyone's like, yeah, but you had Anthony Davis, you had Russell Westbrook. Those are the same guys you said sucked at the start of the season.
Yeah. But the thing is, with Ronaldo, the World Cup is so elusive. It's so elusive for the star. It's not elusive for the team.
And I think that's where it kind of helps Ronaldo.
Because now he's the team.
Now he's the team, right?
Argentina's the star.
Right. Brazil is the star and the team.
But they're
they're also the team that, if they win it, it wouldn't be. It doesn't feel like we get it.
I want to feel emotional watching Brazil.
Right. It's also like, I don't want Brazil to win it just to see
the chaos,
the scenes when Spain beats Brazil.
What are your top 3? I would get emotional watching these teams hoist a World Cup trophy teams.
Okay, I would say I don't get emotional for Messi.
I agree.
I think he's phenomenal, obviously, and I think he'd be the GOAT, undisputed GOAT, undisputed one. But I wouldn't get emotional.
Yeah,
I would get emotional if Ronaldo lifted it.
I would too.
I would get emotional if Neuer lifted it.
I would too. Oh my God!
And I would get emotional if it's players at this point.
Yeah. I think if I saw Bukayo Saka hoist a World Cup trophy after what happened against Italy.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah.
No Granit Xhaka for you?
Oh, no, if Granit Xhaka won, I'd be on the first plane to Switzerland. I'd be landing in Zurich tomorrow. Oh, my God, if Granit Xhaka hoisted a World Cup. I mean, it's not going to happen because he's the best player on the team. And,
right.
You know, GOATs can only go so far. Just ask Messi.
Exactly.
But, no, that'd be incredible.
All right.
Let's end on that. This has been brilliant.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, of course. We'll have to have you back after the World Cup.
It would be my pleasure.
A little World Cup review.
No P.
This is the preview.
That's right.
We're going to go eat some Colombian street food.
Yeah, we are. In honor of Colombia not being in the World Cup.
Oh.
Got him.
Got him. Yeah. Poor James Rodriguez really peaked, didn't he?
Really? Honestly, this is great because now you get to shit on Luis Diaz as well.
That's fair. Yeah. And no one likes Luis Diaz.
No, he right.
Hear me out. Has Luis Diaz ever put a shot on goal?
I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it happen. I've seen he's scored goals before.
Now we're going to go eat the food of his native country.
We are.
And celebrate that he's not going to be playing in front of us for the next.
Because we don't have to watch Luis Diaz. And we don't have to watch Timo Werner.
And we're going to pronounce the name of the food incorrectly, too, just to piss him off. That's what we do.
Wait, now we have to end on a positive note.
Ah, damn. What if Ronaldo won it, man?
Dude, that would...
What if he won it?
What if he won it?
What if he did?
Oh, my God. After everything he's been through.
Oh, my God. Just to see the joy on his face.
Oh, my God. He would be
with
so
that
happy.
World Cup trophy.
That would be beautiful.
In the Portugal flag uniform.
Because the thing with Ronaldo is, like, I've always gravitated towards him. Because you kind of have to pick one or the other, right?
Yeah.
I've always gravitated towards Ronaldo because Messi was born with this God-given ability.
Yeah.
The ball doesn't stick to anyone's foot like it sticks to Messi's.
Right.
But with Ronaldo, it's just all work, and it's relentless.
Yeah.
And obviously that's changed as he's gotten older, but it does with all of us. To see him get this, it would be a capstone to the best career I've ever witnessed and will ever witness. That would be incredible.
What if?
What when?
What when?
Thank you for listening.
Of course.
This has been...
wait. Sorry, I thought you were talking to me.
Well, thank you for speaking.
I thought you were saying, like, thank you for having me on. And I jumped the gun a little bit.
It was a little premature.
Can I thank them for listening?
Please do.
Hey, thank you for listening.
We've had a blast.
I have had a blast.
This has been weeks in the work.
It has.
I'm looking forward to this World Cup. It feels like the last one of, like, the players I grew up watching.
It is.
Which is sad, but it's going to be great.
I'm going to cry.
It's going to be sad. If Germany could bounce in the first round, I don't know what's all.
I'm either going to be crying tears of happiness or tears of sadness when this thing's all over.
But it's going to be a great World Cup.
It's going to be tears either way.
It has the making of a great World Cup.
It does.
Because 2018 was, like, fun looking back on it, but in the moment it was, like, kind of a mid-World Cup because remember, like, Croatia had, like, the weird, like, we played no one and got here thing.
Right.
And we just knew France was going to win the whole time.
Yeah.
We have no idea who's going to win.
No.
I love this.
I love it.
It's perfect.
All right.
I'll see you guys later. Thank you for listening.